on, people? Oh, shit. Here we go. How many people are going to unsubscribe after I freaking do this video? Alright, you freaking idiots who are coming here acting like freaking crazy crybabies. Let's look at some comments. This video has gotten a lot of... I've gotten kind of a lot of bit of heat on it because everybody is just being a damn idiot. I think I'm going to block somebody live if I didn't already block him. Where's he at? I'll find him in the comments in a minute. But if you didn't watch the video, go to the video. Is it better to be lucky or good? Lady Luck saved this guy's life. Okay, a lot of cross comments here. Normally, I have the majority of the people either completely siding against me, saying I took the cop side, which I'm okay with, or I have, you know, sporadic one or two little crybabies that, you know, whatever. I just didn't get my message across. But on this one, I really failed to get my message across. And as the sender of a message, I'm making a video, I'm sending you a message. It's my responsibility to make sure that you receive the message I want you to receive. Unfortunately, I can't get feedback while I'm giving it. I can only get feedback after I do it. And the feedback I got from this was I missed the mark. And a lot of people missed what I was saying. So let's go through some comments here. Don't get your panties in a knot. Okay, so I'm just going to go through them. So it may be a while, but I'm going to discuss and try to explain why I'm saying what I'm saying. All right, so this looks like the #1 comment here. I don't know if I pinned it. It doesn't look like I did. It's got 63 likes, so there's 63 people that think this guy has it. Let's see what old Scooter says. Lucky, yes. However, by not firing, depending on the state he is in, he is avoiding paying hundreds and thousands of dollars to defend and prosecution, looking for the law and justice, and could win. Okay, so I have gotten this comment several times from several people. What I say to this comment, sorry Scooter, is freaking bullshit. People, you cannot be making decisions on saving your life and deadly force thinking about legal repercussions. If you're thinking about legal repercussions in the middle of an incident, then you're probably right. You shouldn't be shooting. I guarantee you this guy did not shoot because he was thinking he didn't want to go to court. That's not, it's easy for people to come here and sound like, well, me being the reasonable person and thinking and having hindsight and being able to sit back at my computer and say I don't agree with this, let me just prove that Rick's wrong. I'm not saying this guy is. There's a couple people that were really whatever. But I get it. Your position is this. I think it's a bad position. It's a failure position at the start point. You don't plan to fail in a mission. You don't go out with a plan to survive worrying about, gee, I wonder what will happen afterwards if I live. That is a point of failure, people. This is not the way you evaluate deadly force. I get it. There is issues about crazy DAs. I get it that our laws suck. I get it that our government. But you as a person have to make an individual decision. If you're carrying a gun, that you're either going to use it to save your life or you're going to only carry it and worry about fear that if you use it, you're going to go to jail. So I got to be fearful of using it. To me, if you're carrying a gun that way, you're screwing up. I'm sorry. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go through a court hearing. I don't want to spend a lot of money on attorneys. But I am not going to carry a gun with that mindset and expect to survive a critical incident. This guy is freaking lucky, and I'm telling you right now, anybody pulls a gun and puts it in my face, if I get 1 second to take them out, I'm doing it. I'll worry about the other shit later. The other be judged by 12, carried by 6. I know you don't want to say that because then they'll play it in court and they'll say, see, he just wanted to kill. And some idiot in here is like, yeah, Rick's just running around looking to kill somebody. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? If I wanted to kill somebody, I could have killed hundreds of people in my freaking career of idiots out there, and it would have been justified. There's so many people that I could have killed and shot illegally. I am not the person that wants to go out and kill somebody. I'm trying to educate you people on when legally you can use it and when you need to have a survival mindset that you don't have time to think about freaking court. If you think this guy was thinking about court when he pulled his gun, then he shouldn't be carrying a gun, and I'm telling you, you shouldn't be carrying a gun. And I'll tell the women the same thing. If women carry a gun, I don't know if I could shoot somebody, then they shouldn't be carrying a gun. Because that's the type of people that, one, either they're going to get their gun taken away and it's going to be used against them or someone else, and it's going to be their fault for freaking bringing a gun that they didn't use, or two, they're going to end up lucky like this guy. Because if this guy wanted to shoot him, he could have. He could have acted like he walked out. He could have waited for this guy to drop his head. He could have waited for this guy later in the parking lot to go to his car and shot him in the back of the freaking head, because that's what criminals do. If you think this is a good guy, which I'm hearing, he was a vet, Rick, he didn't want to kill, he was better than you because he didn't want to take it. This isn't about wanting to take a life, people. This is about you have 1 second to make a decision that could mean you die or he dies. This guy didn't start it. He didn't come here. He didn't look for it. A guy walked in and put a gun in his face and threatened to kill him. If you get a chance to take that person out, I'm telling you, from a survival point, from a tactical survival point, you take the freaking shot. Are you kidding me? I've been a cop all these freaking years. I've had people pull guns, knives, pick up shit, spin, not listen, argue, approach me with a knife. I haven't shot any of them, because I never thought for a second that I couldn't get out of it in a good place. This guy is not a freaking hero for thinking, gee, I don't want to go to court. I better not shoot this guy. Gee, I'll just put the gun in his face where he can grab it and I won't worry about pulling the trigger. I'll let the guy walk away with a gun in his hand and I won't pull the trigger. If you want to think this is a good guy, then knock yourself out. And you can think that. But I'm telling you, I don't think it makes him a good or a bad guy for shooting or not shooting. From a tactical standpoint, he took a huge risk with his life. And it worked out, and he's lucky. If he would have died, all you idiots here coming here, oh, and I'm not calling you an idiot, Scott. I'm just saying, all the idiots here crying about, man, he did a good job because he doesn't have to go to court. You'd be saying, man, he was stupid. He should have took the shot. So it's easy to play, I'm the smart guy, and I'm giving good advice. I'm trying to give you good, sound fundamentals for you to make good decisions and be able to justify it later on why you did what you did. And when someone, a criminal, an aggressor, a violent felon, pulls a gun on you and puts it in your face, if you get a shot to take him out and you don't, and you end up dead, shame on you. So, let's get down to some other comments, because there's some... Oh, before I forget, but I'm sure there's going to be a comment here. Let's see. Yeah, I just say justified. Okay, so what I did is I put some question marks on some of the questions. So if you got a question mark, the reason why I question mark it is I wanted to do this. And maybe, you know what? That's not how I'm going to do it. I'm going to filter it through things I responded. Because by putting a question mark, I responded. So I want all the comments I responded. You'll see a lot of question marks here. This way I can do this filter. So if you got a question mark, that's why. My brother pointed... What? Ponied up 50 grand down payment for his son's attorney for a murder trial. The trial will cost him an extra $1,000 a day and will likely cost him 100 grand. No guarantee either. How many of you have... Okay, so here's another Gene. Here's another smart guy that wants to come here and appear that he has all the answers and making this guy look like he did the right thing. I'm telling you, people, I'm sorry. This guy took a huge risk. Hindsight, he did the right thing. Nobody got hurt. It's easy to stand here and go, man, that was great. That's what I would have done. That's what I would recommend everybody do. Well, then you're a fool. If you're recommending that and people are listening to you, that's the day two fools met. You might as well go work for Ass Active Self-Protection, because he gives out idiot advice all the time too, and he's got million subscribers and making a lot of money, and he's a YouTube hero. And he's never carried a gun, and he's never done anything in his life that would show that he understands the law. He's never been in court. He's never testified. He's never done anything with a gun, and he's got a bunch of idiots following him, and he's giving advice on guns. So if you're giving this advice thinking this is great and this guy's wonderful, and I'm just some mean guy that want to give advice for people to kill, then you probably shouldn't be watching me, and you ought to go watch Asp and get your training from him. Because I'm telling you, this was a bad move on several counts. You do not give a bad guy with a gun who has already demonstrated the ability that he wants or has the ability to take your life. You do not give him a second bite at that apple if you can prevent it. This guy could have prevented it. Rick, he did prevent it. He just pulled the gun and the guy left, and you're just mad because he didn't kill him, and then the people don't agree. Shut up, you freaking crybabies. I don't care if you agree with me. I'm telling you, if you're listening to people that think this guy did a good thing here using hindsight and trying to appear smart and good and try to make me appear mean and evil because I'm telling you this guy should have shot, then go listen to him. I really don't care what you do. I mean, hell, it makes good videos when idiots go out there and do stupid shit. I'll just do a video on you. I don't care. Look, if you want to think this guy is great and he's a hero and you want to take him out to lunch and you want to encourage other people to handle all deadly force situations just like this guy, I think you're a fool. And I think you're giving out fool's advice. But I digress. Here we go. Let's see. 151. Human life just ain't worth shit. So this guy's always kind of like giving me shit. Kind of like sideways, like I don't get it. If it ain't your own. Maybe some see morals to be more important than the law at times. Any excuse to kill someone. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just giving any excuse to kill someone. Being a cop or gang member, I would fall into the cop. Some would say I would be a gang member. Can really get to you. Really? Any chance to enact violence is greatly taken. Gladly taken. That's not true. We've seen the outcome. If he was to be killed, anything could be defended. Especially when there's no longer a witness. All right, I don't even understand what he's trying to say here. But what he's trying to imply is because I said this guy should have shot him, that I'm somehow this mean, evil, wanting to take life guy. That's not the case. If you seek me out when I'm minding my own business, this guy's doing a job, paying his taxes, trying to work, minding his own business, and a guy comes up and puts a gun in his face. If you come to me and put a gun in my face, if I get the chance, I'm taking that gun and blowing your head off, or I'm taking that gun out of the way so I can use my gun to take your head off. But I am going to stop you immediately. DRT, right there, dead right there, if I can, because I know I may only get one bite at the apple. I didn't start it. I didn't ask for it, but if I get a chance to end it, it's done. So you can take that shit to the bank. What's the next crazy question? Neck, artery, brainstem, gutter, gut. Don't know what that is. Thank you, Rick. You're the man. Best breakdown of field. Okay, so this guy, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I didn't put a question mark here. I just said very welcome. Okay, thanks. Let's see. I was always told, you draw, you fire. Bad advice. Who's ever telling you that is a fool. I would never say, if you draw, you fire. I think this is bad advice. I think this is given out a lot. This is given out by people who think they know it. People like Asp, who pick up a nice catchphrase and then they like to use it to appear smart. This is bad advice. You do not have to fire if you draw your gun. That is bad advice. This causes people not to want to draw their gun because they're like, I don't want to draw it because if I draw it, I have to fire. And I don't want to fire because I'm not sure if I can fire yet. So I'm going to leave it in the holster. That puts you behind a power curve. If you need to draw that gun or you think you might need to use it, get that damn gun out of your holster, get it in your hand, and reduce the amount of lag time before you have to fire. You can decide to fire after the gun's out. You can decide to fire afterwards. This guy drew his gun and decided not to fire. If you're listening to this advice, this guy should have shot because he drew his gun. That's not why I'm saying he should have shot. People may want to imply that or infer that. That's not the point. The point is this guy still has a gun in his hand and he could blow your head off. He could come back. He could have another gun. He could have friends in a parking lot. He can now ambush you because you embarrassed him. He can make a vendetta on you and snipe you when you're getting in your car fiddling with your keys when you don't know about it. He can follow you home and burn down your house. He can do a lot of things. I'm not even saying that's why you should have shot him. I'm saying this dude is a threat. He's an immediate threat. He's got a gun in his freaking hand and he just put it in your face. And if you hesitate and you don't take him out when you have the chance, you may not have the chance next time he does it, and then you're dead. And then we'll hear all these experts here saying what a great guy he is and how smart it is and how he didn't have to go to court when he's bleeding out in a morgue with a freaking toe tag. All right? You don't put a gun in someone's face and let them do that again. I'm sorry, but that's just me. Again, you can believe what you want, people. All right, got a question mark here. When do you shoot and when do you just lose a few hundred in a register? Okay, so this guy, this person, is implying that he would have shot this guy to save money. That's not why I'm shooting him. I'm shooting him because he's a deadly threat to me and he put a freaking gun in me. He may kill me after he gets the money. See, you idiots who have never been to a crime scene that want to spew this bullshit, you've never been to a crime scene where you watched the video and the clerk was totally compliant, gave the gun, laid down, put his hands behind his head like he was told, and then the guy shot him in the back 3 or 4 times and killed him. You've never been to a crime scene like that. You've never had to see that shit and don't understand that criminals, predators, cowards with guns that go out and steal and attack people and threaten to take their life are cowards and they will shoot you in the back even if you comply. You sound like a freaking idiot that tells a woman, if a guy's going to rape you, you should just take your clothes off, lay down, spread your legs, and let it happen. It's just not worth the fight. Well, that makes you a freaking idiot. I would never give a woman that advice. I hate when freaking liberals tell them don't fight back. You fight back, you get DNA under your fingernails, you make it as hard as you can, you make it as unenjoyable as you can, and you fight like your freaking life depends on it. That's what I tell rape victims to do. So this bullshit, oh, he just wanted to shoot him for... Rick, you're telling me he should have shot him just to save a few $100. Yeah, that's because you're a freaking idiot. That's not what I said. If you shoot, you might win a gunfight only to lose a gang member going out to his car one night. See, now this guy is playing opposite of what I'm saying. He's saying that if you shoot him, you may have to look over your back. You know what? At least I got mine. Fuck that. Okay, I'm sorry. If I got to worry about shooting somebody only because I'm scared that they might have friends or a gang member, therefore I'm never going to shoot anybody, then don't carry a damn gun, you pussy. I mean, that's just freaking ridiculous advice. I mean, I can't believe, I guarantee you most of these people comment and probably get their advice from Ass and are watching his dumb ass. Play out the politics after a gunfight. Oh, so now it's play out the politics. Okay. If the guy is there to kill you, by all means, shoot first. Oh, so now I'm supposed to be a mind reader and know if this guy wanted to kill me or whether he wanted the money or whether his gun was loaded or maybe it was just a threat. And I just shouldn't shoot him. Dude, if you carry a gun, you got no business carrying a gun, dude. Your mindset sucks. I totally support your right to carry a gun. I don't give a shit if a guy takes your gun and kills you. I don't care if you get killed with your gun in your holster. I really don't care about you. Rick, you should care about him. He's watching you. I'm sorry, people. Just because you watch somebody, that don't mean they care about you. I don't care what you people do. I'm trying to give you critical thinking advice from years of experience and education and training on why I believe what I believe, and then the decision is yours. All right, let's see. By all means, shoot first. Okay, so if you can figure out what you want to do, that's great advice. Always know what your person is thinking in order to make your decisions. Never use your gun unless you know what the person is thinking. Oh, that's perfect advice. And deal with it later from the DA and local gangs that run the neighborhood. All right, whatever. Look, I get it, people. There are bad DAs and they freaking have a war on people with guns. Then don't carry a gun. I carry a gun so I survive. I don't carry a gun so I can kill people. I don't carry a gun so I can fight with the government. I don't carry a gun so I can worry about legal repercussions later. That's not why I carry a gun. I carry a gun so I am not a victim of someone else. And if you have any other mindset of all this DA and legal shit, then I would probably recommend you don't carry a gun. But whatever, you can do what you want. Rick, Boston has a mandatory card. Oh, yeah, all right. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. At least there's nothing they can arrest the store manager for. That's incorrect, too. They can still arrest this guy for pulling a gun. If a DA wants to charge him with brandishing a gun, assault with a deadly weapon, he pulled his gun too quickly, He should have never pointed at the guy. He threatened the guy. He didn't know if the gun was loaded. He didn't know if the guy was going to kill him. Therefore, he shouldn't have pointed a gun. Maybe he has the gun when he wasn't supposed to. Maybe it was in the wrong holster. Maybe he pulls him because he's got his finger on the trigger. There's plenty a DA can charge you with just by walking out your front freaking door, people. This is bad mindset. And I saw this trend in this video, and it really just kind of like, damn, I thought my audience was better educated on survival and not fucking bullshit, but evidently not. I was taught if you have to pull your firearm, you pull the trigger. Well, you were taught wrong, Don. That is shitty, dumb advice. And again, probably Asp is giving that dumbass advice because he's never carried a gun. He's never had to draw his gun on anybody. He's never had to go to court. People who are giving this advice are either pussy trainers that have never drawn their gun, or trainers that are worried about liability, so they tell idiot people they're teaching stupid shit that they know they're not going to have to comply with, and then they will give them bad advice saying, you know what, I'm not going to have somebody, I'm teaching a class on how to keep these people and teach them how to use a gun, and if I tell them that they can shoot too easy, then they'll sue me. So I'm going to tell them stupid shit like, if you pull your gun, you better pull the trigger. So I'll tell them stupid shit like that so they don't pull their gun. That way I'm safe and I can't get sued. That is bad. Anybody that tells you this, you ought to really rethink who the fuck's telling you this shit. All right, let's see. Great video. Thanks for posting. Glad you enjoyed. Okay, that's not why I want store clerk. Here we go. The store clerk didn't shoot him because he didn't want to kill someone. See? Because I said shoot him, now this implies I want to kill someone. Dude, I don't want to kill anybody. If I wanted to kill people, I would go out and drive my car through school zones at 50 and pick off little kids walking across the street. There's plenty of ways to kill people. I don't want to kill people. If you put a gun in my face, I want to kill you. I want to stop you before you kill me. Don't point a gun in my face. I mean, it's pretty simple. Sometimes people have compassion. Oh, so now I don't have compassion. Most people aren't killers, so now I'm a killer. Thanks, Johnny. Man, look, try to decipher comments from people. Because remember, people, most questions, 90% of all questions are statements. Who wants to live with killing someone? I want to live with killing someone. If it's between me or you dying, I want to live me knowing I killed you. How about that? Rick, you can't say that. That just makes you a killer. Well, that's because you're a freaking idiot. Okay? I'm not out there trying to kill people, but if you try to kill me, I want you freaking dead. How about that? Rick, you can't say that. Well, I just freaking did. That's crazy, people. I don't know how, are you people carrying guns? I should make you have to freaking say, before you comment, say whether or not you carried a gun or you believe in gun control. Because these freaking comments are driving me crazy. I know I sure don't want, and I don't agree with using a 22 long for self-defense. All right, so? Oh, yeah, a 22 long would definitely take care of someone. But think about this for a second. Oh, okay, because I'm not thinking. You're involved in a self-defense situation. You're going to pump 10 rounds of a 10-22 long into someone's face, kind of like Grizzly way to defending yourself. In my opinion, I would personally just rather put one in the face if possible. Man, this guy is so smart. Johnny, man, you're like my smartest viewer. You make so much sense, and you made me look so stupid. Damn, I almost just want to shut down my channel because I don't know shit because Johnny's comment was so smart. Are you freaking kidding me? Rick, real story about 8 years ago in Missouri. Okay, so somebody put this, and this is, a lot of people said I think it's fake. I kind of thought it was fake too. However, I did look up the story, and it is here. So this is the guy, a Missouri gun owner. We'll look at this. Hang on, let me get rid of these ads. So let's see what the article said. An armed man attempted to rob a Missouri liquor store. Had no idea what he was up against. Caught on surveillance footage making the rounds this week. Clerk Jon stopped would-be thief by calmly, oh, ain't that nice, pulling out his own gun and scaring the suspect away. Wow. Everybody's making this guy a hero because he let an armed guy who just pointed a gun at him walk away with his gun, and he's a hero. This is the pussification of America, people. This is not how real people, real men want to survive. If a man comes up and is raping your wife and you pull a gun, you want to let him get up and walk away because it's just better. And if he rapes her again tomorrow, You'll let him walk away because it's just better than shooting him, Rick. Really? This is the pussification of America, and it just makes me sick. Alexander's not your average store clerk. He apparently has 4 tour Iraq. So what? He went to Iraq 4 times. What did he do in Iraq? I don't know. Everybody wants to say because you went to... I know plenty of people that went to Iraq. They never fired a round. They never left a safe freaking area of their tent. They talked on the radio. They called home. They sent pictures with them holding guns, and they never did jack shit. So this shit because, oh, I was a cop for 5 years. I know about violence. I know plenty of cops in freaking 20 years that never made an arrest, never went to court. I mean, never got in a fight. It's just crazy. This girl who's in court right now because she pulled her taser on a guy was a cop for like 20 years and said she never used her taser before. And she pulled her gun and shot a guy by mistake. So don't give me this 4 tours in Iraq. Suddenly this guy knows what's going on. He's smart. Oh, maybe he's got PTSD, Rick. You're not giving him a fair shake. He's a vet. Just because you're a vet don't mean that you're tactically sound. I get it. You served your country. You signed. You probably get some shitty jobs. Doesn't mean that you know. I know plenty of vets that are freaking idiots when it comes to tactics. I know plenty of cops who are freaking idiots when it comes to tactics. So I know plenty of doctors that freaking probably shouldn't be working as a vet, but they still have the doctor status. I know plenty of professors in college that have never done what they're teaching. So get away from these titles, people. Alexander's not your average store clerk. 4 tours in Iraq. Helped extradite federal prisoners. Big deal. He was a prison guard. Oh, that means he was really good. Wow, he extradited a federal prisoner. Wow. I extradited federal prisoner. I extradited regular prisoner. Who cares? You get on a freaking plane with a gun, you fly there, the guy's in custody, you take him into your custody, and you fly him back. That's what an extradition is. Are you kidding me? But see, for the average person, they make this guy look like he's really smart. And look how good he did, because he calmly pulled out his weapon, and he only scared the suspect. Because that's what you should do if you have a gun. Because government doesn't want you shooting people. Only they should be able to shoot people. Are you freaking kidding me? This incident happened at the Beer 30 store, Missouri. Used a Walther PPX 9mm handgun, which he clearly pointed straight at the mouth of the suspect, who shortly thereafter fled. Oh, wow. What a hero. Great. Deputy Chief, blah, 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 Morning Police believe they know the identity of the suspect, but have not yet issued charges or taken a man in custody. Oh, perfect. So we know the guy, and we didn't take him. What was it, a toy gun? What was it? The guy's a local drunk? What is it? Nobody wants to deal with this guy because he has AIDS, so nobody wants to go arrest him. I mean, are you kidding me? He says it was dangerous not to comply with armed robbers for cash, but since the person pointed a weapon at him, he had the right to defend himself. Well, I agree with him there. I just disagree that he should have took the shot. And again, people, I'm not wanting anybody to die, and I'm not wanting to kill anybody. You do not know what people are thinking when they come in with a gun to rob you. You do not know what they're capable of. And if you think you know, or you think you're smart enough to figure out what they're thinking, or if you think you're smart enough to figure out, I'm going to figure out the legal maneuvers, and I should worry about the DA. And if you're thinking about all that, then you shouldn't be carrying a gun. I'm sorry. Rick, that's not fair. The man came to the store smoking a cigarette, quickly explained that it was against the rules to smoke. Oh, so he told him about smoking a cigarette. That's why he pulled the gun. Within seconds, the man in a gray shirt demanded all the expletive money. He said, oh, I want all the fucking money. In less than 3 seconds, Alexander threw out a couple of expletives of his own and threatened to blow his head off. The man is seen in the video backing away, his firearm still at his side. He didn't even bother holstering his weapon, but he quickly left the store. Great. So he had his gun in his hand. He could have turned around anytime, gotten a gunfight. When the guy wasn't close. When the guy wasn't ready. He could have fired, maybe hit the guy first round lucky in the hand, and then the guy couldn't front, and then he could have walked over and shot him in the head 3 times. But you know what? At least the guy that was shot and killed 3 times in the head didn't have to worry about the DA and spending money on legal fees. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you people on drugs out there? What the hell? Am I bizarre? All right, so let's get back to the crazy questions that are driving. Okay, so this guy, man, sometimes this guy, it seems like he understands things, and other times it just seems like he just wants to argue with me, and I just don't get it. Rick, I'm sorry, but I must respectfully disagree. You don't have to be sorry. You can just disagree. The gun was pointed at the ground. In reality, it probably would have been a good shoot. In reality, it would have been a good shoot. A guy just pointed a gun at you and he came in and committed a violent felony and you don't know what his intentions are. You don't know if there's multiple adversaries. You have no idea what he's thinking. You don't know if he's just waiting to get your gun. Suppose he would have grabbed his gun just like the clerk grabbed his gun and pushed it away. And then he'd got his gun in his face. And what, we would play fucking the Three Stooges? You get your gun, I'm gonna push your gun. No, I'm gonna push your gun. No, I'm gonna push. And nobody, is that what we're looking for? I mean, come on, people. But does prosecutor reason work there? See, here we go. We're thinking about legal things instead of surviving. If you got time to think about legal, man, I'm telling you, man, you shouldn't be carrying a gun. I'm sorry. As you love to say, see, now here it comes. So now he's going to try throw my words back that he's going to take out of context. Let's hear it. The law is as clear as mud. That's correct. I do say that, and it's true. But when a guy has a gun in my face or points a gun in my face and I get an opportunity, one and maybe only one, to end that threat and to take his ass out, blow his head off, take his life, kill him, whatever you want to say, if I get that opportunity after you point a gun in my face, I'm taking it. And I'll worry about the law clear as mud later. And they have discretion. They do. Then don't carry a gun. Why are you here? Why are you watching my channel where I talk about use of deadly force and educating people if you are worried about the law? I can't control the law. I don't write the law. I don't do anything with the law. I merely give you critical information so you can make a critical decision for yourself. And I don't give a shit what your decision is. If you want to disagree and play armchair quarterback and Monday morning, whatever you want to call it, and you want to disagree with me, knock yourself out. I don't care. I just, you know, if you're going to use my words, try to make it to where it's in context and not just to where it fits your freaking narrative so you can sound like a smart guy and try to make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever. I don't even care if you want me to look like if you think I don't know what I'm talking about, why are you here? There's no penalty and they cannot be prosecuted. My point is, if 100 different prosecutors looked at a fire at 157, I think quite a few, maybe 30 would prosecute. So, I don't care. See, this is the problem that people are getting into, and this is what government and the pussification has made people think. They got people carrying guns that are so scared. You don't think cops are scared to use their gun? They shoot at a freaking split second. They don't give a fuck about using their guns. But they got all you idiots carrying guns thinking, no, you can't use your gun. I mean, it's just crazy. Even if you win, your life is destroyed. Okay, well, okay, if that's your theory, even if you win, why the fuck are you carrying a gun? Why are you even in a fight? Why don't you just go and kneel down to people with guns? Why don't you just go and turn yourself into government and go to prison? I mean, if this is your freaking theory in life, even if you win, your life's destroyed. So I don't want to win. I would rather die. Because that's what he just said. Are you freaking kidding me? You are paying a lawyer tens of thousands. Oh my God, you got to pay your lawyer. So therefore you should take a bullet in the head. You're freaking crazy. And I put, please show me a case where a store clerk has pulled a gun and shot and charged. Look, people, this is not, every situation is judged differently. I have never seen a store clerk who had a gun pointed in their face and killed somebody charged. Never. And that's saying a lot, because there's DAs that'll charge for freaking, you know, putting too much peanut butter on a peanut butter sandwich. So the fact that I have never, because property and business owners who are lawfully carrying guns, when their life is threatened, man, it is like the poster child for freaking deadly force. So, I mean, I just, this argument about the law is just crazy. Let's see what his comment is. I probably read it because looks like I downvoted it because I just got tired of arguing with it. Well, instead of that case, okay, great. Don't give me what I want. Give me something else that makes your point. I'll point out the case of an illegal gun to the head of a teenager. No reasonable person would have believed, I'm not sure what to, Kyle Rittenhouse. Anything but reasonable. It was reasonable. And the DA was wrong. And luckily the jury found it. And Kyle could have went to life. So your theory, your brilliant training theory to come here and argue with me and tell me how much you disagree and how you're going to prove me wrong is that Kyle should not have defended his life because of what happened to him. That's your theory? Well, that makes you an idiot. I'm sorry. Rick, you can't call it. Shut up. Freaking crybabies coming here. I remember seeing this years ago. I always considered it was a great example that many criminals don't use guns to kill people. They simply use them for intimidation, and quite often, they don't even have a loaded gun. So what? If that's your theory, I mean, that's crazy. You shouldn't be carrying a gun. If you're carrying a gun with the mindset, most criminals carry guns, they don't want to kill people, and they simply want to intimidate, and they don't even have a loaded gun, then why the fuck would you have a gun? Why are you on this channel? Why are you even worried about use of force for legal reasons? You ought to just be running around with a fucking big-ass sign saying, I'm a victim, I know all you guns aren't loaded, fuck you criminals, I know you don't want to kill me, and I know you just want to intimidate me. Just run around with a sign like that downtown Oakland, Los Angeles, San Francisco at midnight, okay? Why don't you add to the sign, I hate, well, never mind, I won't even go there. Freaking, it's just killing me. All right, pulling a gun on a guy that already has a gun is not smart. Oh, so this guy is saying the clerk should have never pulled his gun. Really? You got a gun in your holster and a guy's got a gun in your face and you should just give up? Why do you have a gun? Why would you carry a gun? But if your dumb ass does it, pull the trigger. Holy crap. Okay, so I think this guy probably agrees with me more than he disagrees, because he's saying because he pulled it, he should have pulled the trigger, but he's saying he shouldn't have pulled the gun. So I'm not sure where he stands. But anyway, I have pulled my gun on a thug with a knife and still thought about pulling the trigger, 21-foot rule. I'm really not sure even what that means. What is the purpose of that? To say that you pulled your gun? Did you shoot? Did you not? Should you shot? Should you not? I mean, well, look, I've pulled my gun on hundreds, if not thousands of people. I mean, that's just, I've pulled and pointed my gun. Not a lot of people can say that. Most people watching me have never pointed a loaded gun at anybody. I've pointed my loaded gun at hundreds, if not thousands of people. I've had it screwed into their neck. I've had it screwed into their face. I've had it on the back of their neck when they're on the ground. I've had my gun pointed at hundreds of people. Does that make me smart, bad, good, not good? I'm just telling you, people, it is what it is. I haven't shot anybody because I didn't feel the need. In this case, if anybody ever put a gun in my face, their head would have been pink mist challenge. I'm sorry. It's over. I may not get a second freaking shot. Hey, Rick, if I ever... While I get the never draw on a drawn gun. Hey, Rick, while I get the never draw on a drawn gun. I don't think I've ever said that. How much control over bad guy's weapon by the clerk is sufficient to justify drawing? The clerk did not have his hand on the bad guy's gun, but did influence the bad guy to pull the gun away. Okay, so I don't even know what your question is, but I'm thinking when you're saying bad guy's gun, the clerk is sufficient to draw your gun. How much control over the bad guy's gun is? Look, if you're in a fight with a gun and you got to get your gun out and you're wrestling over a weapon, you get your gun out when and any way you can. I mean, you got a choice to make. This guy, this clerk could have took a two-handed grip and grabbed the gun and did a gun takeaway. That was an option. But if I take away your gun, I'm shooting you with your own gun. If it's not loaded, then I'm beating you with it. Okay? I just, if I take away your gun, I've got a gun in my hand, I'm not dropping and drawing. Some people actually used to teach, never shoot a bad guy's gun. And I used to teach gun takeaways and defensive tactics and all that shit. And when I taught, if you take a gun away, you put that gun immediately to the guy's head and pull the trigger. Immediately. As soon as you take it away, in the immediate confusion, etc., the guy lost his freaking gun, you've got less than a second to make a decision that you may not get another chance. You shoot that son of a bitch as quick as you can with his own freaking gun. You empty the mag into him if you have to. He just pulled a gun on you. You may not get a second chance. The gun may only fire once. The ammo may be bad. You may hit a bad area. It doesn't matter. The gun may jam. If the gun goes click, perfect. Then you abandon the gun and go to your gun. But if you've got a gun in your hand, don't take the opportunity to drop that gun and get your own gun to go out. Some people would argue, you don't know if it's gun. It's better to drop it and go for your gun. Then you know for sure. That may be true. I mean, I don't care. It's your tactic. It's your life. I will give you options, and I will tell you why I do what I do and why I think this is a good move, and then you make the decision. Okay, let's see. You can't fault the clerk for valuing life. Really? Really? Whereas pigs would just shoot because he knows he can get away with murder. That's why I put laugh out loud at this. Okay, so you can't fault the clerk for valuing life. Again, this is implying that if you shoot a guy who just put a gun in your face, somehow you don't value life. Pacification of America. This has nothing to do with valuing life. You know whose life I value? Mine. That's whose life. When you point a gun in my face, I value my life. And you're dying if I have the opportunity to make it come true. Sorry. I know you guys hate reality and you hate hard truths because you'd rather comforting lies. But you freaking pussies out there carrying guns with all these freaking excuses on why not to shoot somebody who just put a gun in your face, I think you're freaking crazy. But that's okay. That's just my opinion. I can think what I want. You can think what you want. That's what's great about this country. All right? Hey, Ray, I got a question. Can you clarify your opinion? Remember the guy who answered the door with his girlfriend? Yes, I remember that. As soon as the guy put a gun and put his down, the robber put his gun down, walked away. What's the difference? Okay, so no nonsense is confusing, as most people do when they try to challenge me. They misrepresent the facts. Okay, so let's get this straight here, people. The guy that came out of the door, I think it was Rittenhouse or Wright, White something, I can't remember. Guy came out playing video games, had his headphones on, was playing video games. Somebody called the cops, said it was a domestic. Cops knocked on his door. He's like, who the hell's knocking on my door in the middle of the night? He grabs his gun. He opens the door. As soon as he sees the cop, he says, oh shit. He lays the gun on the ground, kneels down, puts his hands up, and the cop shoots him in the back and kills him. And it was justified. The cop was justified in that shooting. So he's saying, because I said I think it wasn't justified, and I still don't think it was justified. I don't care if they ruled justified or not. The guy wasn't a threat. He put the gun down. That cop overreacted. He was scared. He was a pussy, and he shot a guy in the back, and he shouldn't have shot. It was a bad shoot, in my opinion, and I stand by it. So he's saying, because I said that was a bad decision, this robber put his gun down behind his back and walked away. What's the difference? So this is people implying that I said this guy should have shot him as he's walking away. I never said that. I said the second he put that gun to his neck, he should have pulled the fucking trigger. That's what I said. So this misrepresentation, this confusion, this is restating the facts is what liberals do all the time. And they make ignorant people go, oh yeah, that does make sense. He must be wrong. No, I'm not saying he's trying to make me look wrong. I'm just telling you, this is how that shit happens. There is no comparison to a guy on the ground who was not out committing crimes in his freaking home, and a cop's bang on his door, and he kneels down, submissive, looks to the ground, no threat, not looking at the cops, putting his gun on the ground, he gets shot in the back. No comparison to a guy walking in a store and putting a gun in your face. Absolutely no comparison. But that's what I deal with in these comments. And I don't even know what all the responses are because I don't have time to argue and go through all this bullshit. All right. Thank you for buying. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Okay. What do we got here? Luck is more important, but good is more consistent. I agree. Okay. Look, I know this was a long video, people, but I'm telling you, I thought this was one of my most confusing comments and people responding to where I was just like, who the hell am I talking to? It's like I went to someone else's channel and I wasn't talking to my audience anymore. It was like I was talking to people. This was their first visit at my channel and they were trying to totally misrepresent what I was trying to teach here. Let me clear it up. If a guy points a gun at your face in a threatening manner, he is a threat to your life. If you get lucky enough to get your gun out and get it close to his face, his head or neck, you pull the freaking trigger because you may not get a second chance. This is not about shooting a guy 5 minutes later. This is not about shooting a guy when he's walking away. This is not about arguing. This is not about valuing life and you don't want to shoot somebody and you're worried about the DA and you're worried about... This is not... None of that fucking matters, people. This is a split-second decision. A guy put a gun in your face and threatened your life. you may only get one opportunity to take him down. And if you don't do it and you die, shame on you. And that's my point. We'll end that there. Y'all have a good one. Hate me in the comments. Keeps me warm at night.